Good morning, all of you. Okay, children, we are discussing about equations of motion. Two equations we already derived last class. One is first equation of motion V is equal to U plus AT, and the second equation we derived S is equal to UT plus half AT square. These two equations we derived. V is equal to U plus AT, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Now we are going to derive the third one. What is the third equation of motion is V square minus U square is equal to 2as. V square minus U square is equal to 2as. This is our third equation. So previously we already wrote in this case what is U. What is U? U is the initial velocity. And what is V? Already there in yesterday's class you can see. In yesterday's class, V is the final velocity. T is the time taken. A is the uniform acceleration. And S is the distance traveled. So whenever you write this one also along with the equation. Now again no need to write because now only you wrote yesterday's class. So no need to write again. Listen to this third derivation. Doubt you can ask after the third derivation. Here one boy is asking a doubt. Dasan. You unmute your mic, boy, Dasan, and ask me what is the doubt. Fatima.
Yes, sir. Can you explain it again?
Which one?
That problem.
Hello, louder, say louder.
The basic one. Can you explain it again?
I'm not getting which third one, huh?
Yes.
Third one I not started to explain, okay?
Okay.
I am going to start, okay? Okay, children, that is the same one. Just I wrote the equation. I am going to explain it. Please wait. Okay, let us come to the third one. Equation. First one derivation completed. Second one derivation completed. Now we are going to explain or derive the third one. So the same we start the distance traveled. Please don't copy now, children. I will give you time. Just listen. After I complete the derivation, I will give you time. Then only you copy. Don't copy along with me. If you copy along with me, you can't understand. Just listen first. So distance traveled is equal to average velocity into time. Our second equation also we started with the same step. That also we are starting with the same step. Distance traveled is equal to average velocity into time. That is S is equal to second derivation same here also U plus V by 2. This is the average velocity into time. So please keep this U V one side, take this T and 2 to the other side because we know the equation is what V square minus U square is equal to 2as. V square minus U square is V minus U into V plus U. We already know A square minus B square is equal to A minus B into A plus B or A plus B into A minus B, whatever it is. So here we are getting V plus U. So V plus U is equal to See, 2 goes up means it will become 2s. T comes this side means divided by T. Once more, this is from this formula. Distance traveled is equal to average velocity into time. Now, what is average velocity? U plus V by 2. Average velocity into time. Fatima, you unmute, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
can you explain it again?
Which one? This one, huh?
Yes, sir.
Which step? First step, did you understand this step? Fatima,
Yes, sir.
did you understand this step?
No, sir.
Okay, what is distance traveled?
Average velocity and
What is the average velocity when there is two velocity u and v? What is the average velocity?
U and V.
Average velocity. For example, you got PS 40 marks, NS you got 50 marks. Okay, in examination you got 40 for PS, 50 for NS. Your average mark will be 40 plus 50 by 2, that is 45. Science your average mark, understand it? Fatima. So here, when two velocity is there u and v, the average velocity will be u plus v by 2. That is the average velocity u plus into time into. Now, what we did is keeping this u plus v one side, 2s by 2. Again, same like second equation, we know v is equal to u plus at. This is from equation of motion, from first equation of motion. From first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. Take u this side, v minus u is equal to at. So here two steps we are writing. This is first equation of motion. What is first equation of motion? V is equal to u plus at. V is equal to u plus at. If you take u this side, we get v minus u is equal to a. Now see these two equations, multiplying equation number 1 into equation number 2. V plus u into v minus u is equal to 2s by t into at. Here t and t cancel. V plus u into v minus u. V square minus u square. 2sa or 2as. This is the third equation of motion. Children, once copy it. After that, once more I will explain who is having doubt. Many children are raising their hands here. So don't worry. You copy that. Again from beginning I will erase it and explain it once more. Don't worry. Anand Murali, what is the doubt? Ganga.
Sir, please explain once more, sir.
Yes, I will explain. I will explain. Copy it. Vishal. Nagendra. Vishal, what sent out only? Nagendra. Srinivas. Okay, once more explanation you need means for all the children who is having doubt, I will explain once more.
Sir, once wait, sir.
Huh?
Once wait, sir. I am
You are writing. Okay, okay.
ready.
Okay, okay. Okay, still anybody is there to write? Again, one more time I am going to do. That time we can. Complete from beginning I will because it is very important. I said in my first class only. These three equations of motion. Very important. Just like what the formula you are studying, a plus b square, a plus b all square, mx b all square, also all you studied in maths, like identities. The same way it is very important whenever you study physics, these equations of motion there. In colleges and higher classes, you can see the different forms of these equations of motion only we are using. It is there in a vector class, it is there in intermediate level. So it is very important. That first one is B is equal to U plus AT. This is equation number for first equation of motion. Second equation of motion, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. We read the same way. All letters are small letters. We use only these letters, small letters only. A, B, U, S, T. All letters are small letters. Next. The third equation of motion is B square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Now, today we studied this. B square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Equation number, first equation of motion, second equation of motion, third equation of motion. See, all these three, whenever you want to do a problem, you can choose any of this equation according to the given data. So what you should take this or this, that is our wish. But how to do problem after that we will see. Now, so many children asked, they have doubt about the third equation of motion. So once more I am deriving it, third equation of motion. So here also second and third equation start from the same step. Distance traveled is equal to average velocity into time. So again, what is average velocity? Some children have doubt because here u is the initial velocity, v is the final velocity, then average means that arithmetic mean is u plus v by 2 is the average velocity. So here distance traveled is denoted by s, average velocity is u plus v by 2. into t. So from this step, now just we write and go average velocity u plus v by 2 into t. Now, the equation we have to keep it in our mind. This is v square minus u square. This is v plus u into v minus u. A square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. To get that way, we take keeping this u plus v one side, we take 2. 2 will be in the numerator, t will be that is u plus v or v plus u, both are same. U plus v equal to v plus u is equal to 2 into s, 2s by 2. See here, you know, u plus v plus u, both are same. A plus b equal to b plus a, both are same. And now we consider our first equation of motion from first equation, not this equation, equation of motion. That is that one. From first equation of motion, what is first equation of motion? V is equal to u plus kt. Take u this side, v minus u is equal to kt. This is the equation number 1. U this side, v minus u. Now we got two equations in this derivation. 1 and 2. Multiply 1 and 2, you will get answer. 1 into 2 is LHS, v plus u. Second equation LHS, v minus u. RHS, 2s by t into a. See, a plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square. V plus u into v minus u, v square minus u square is equal to t cancel, 2as. Okay, now let us see who is started out. All the three equations. Everybody understood very clearly. Okay. Okay, children, anybody is having one? Anand Murali.
Sir,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you say.
Starting distance traveled is equals to average velocity time. Why you wrote that, sir?
Because from this step only we start the derivation. Okay.
Tell me once again, sir.
Distance traveled is equal to average velocity into time. From there, our derivation will start.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sushant.
sir.
Sushant. Sushant, please ask. Sushant. Achyut. Achyut. Achyut, any doubt is there?
No, sir.
Why you raise your hand? Srinivas.
Hello, sir.
Srinivas.
Sir, for all equation, we want to start with distance travel equal to average velocity into time, sir.
No. For easiness, it is to avoid confusion. Second and third one we started. First one we are starting with the acceleration definition now.
Yes, sir.
See this derivation in different way we can do. This both are same way. So I told you this way. In textbook maybe another one way.
Okay, sir.
So anyone you can write a derivation. Okay. Means the theory is same only. Slight difference will be there.
Okay, sir.
So if second and third starting the same way means easy to remember now.
Yes, sir.
That is why.
Okay, sir.
Now, Abhiram. Okay, all doubt complete. So these three equations, children please, afternoon time, derive all the three ones and study yourself. Now, now the remaining time we have only 10 to 15 minutes. Small numericals we will do. Physics means we know, especially kinematics, dynamics, and all problem based. And when you go to higher classes like after 10th class, 60 or more percentage of physical science physics will be problems only. Theory part will be less, and Gidesh is asking about Gidesh. Gidesh, any doubt is there?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay. If no doubt, don't raise your hand. Achyut. Doubt clarified. Again, children, I said you the last class, you please change your name. Here we are seeing your mobile name like Oppo, Samsung J5. You go to your settings and change your name. Write your name. We cannot understand who is actually asking the doubt if you keep the names like this. Now, let us do small problems. Don't write with me. I'll give you time. After explaining one, I'll give you time, then you can go. So first, from displacement to distance, we start small numericals to understand what is displacement and what is distance, what is speed, what is velocity. Then we can go to these equations of motion. All these problems are very simple problems. You see. So in this case, question number 1, find the speed and velocity. Means your average speed and average velocity. Suppose a man is walking in this direction. Also, he started from A and he moved up to B. So this distance is 30 meters. And he took a time of 4 seconds to travel from A to B. He took 30 minutes. Time is 40 seconds. And then he reached to C. A distance of 40 meters and he took 6 seconds. Now we should find his average speed and average velocity. Question everybody understood, I think. I said I will give you time. So a man is starting from A, he reaches at B. From there, he moves vertically right at right angle 40 meters and he took 6 seconds. So A is his initial position. A is his initial position. And C is his final position. He started from A, moved up to B, from the right angle he went to C. Now he is at C. What is the speed and velocity? So first, let us see, to get the speed is equal to distance by time, velocity is equal to displacement by time. So first let us find distance traveled for speed. Distance traveled by him. Full stop I am not writing. Distance traveled by him. So A to B he traveled 30 meters. B to C he traveled 40 meters. Totally he traveled 70 meters. 30 plus 40. And time taken. Total time taken. A to B 4 seconds. B to C 6 seconds. Totally 10 seconds. So distance traveled, wherever you go full, you have to add. So speed is equal to total distance by time is equal to total distance 70 by 10. 70 by 10, 7 meters per second. Calculate speed, we want total distance traveled 30 plus 40, 70. Total time 6 plus 4, 10. 70 by 10, 7 meters per second. But in case of velocity, we know displacement by time, not distance by time. Displacement by time. So what is the displacement? First class we said displacement is the, what is displacement? The shortest distance between initial position and final position. AC is the displacement. Distance is AB plus BC. And AC is the displacement. So here, displacement, how to calculate AC from this one? You are studying now 9th class. It is a right angle triangle. So Pythagoras theorem we can apply. The AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So all the children, you know Pythagoras theorem. In right angle triangle, AC is the hypotenuse. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. But AB how much? 30 square plus BC 40 square. 30 square means 30 into 30, 900. 40 square, 4 into 4, 16, 1600. That is 2500. Therefore, AC is equal to square root of 2500, 50 meters. So this is 50 meters. This is 50 meters. In velocity, to find the velocity, we should find the displacement. Without finding the displacement, we cannot find the. But distance means directly we can add, we will get. But displacement, we should find it, and therefore velocity displacement by time. That is 50 by 5, 10 seconds. 5 meter per displacement we go to 50, time taken 4 seconds plus 6 seconds, 10 seconds. So 50 by 10, 5 meters. See, there is a difference, speed and velocity. Speed and velocity both are not same. So the children, hope you all of you understood this problem, today's class. Today what you have to do is, afternoon, take all these 3 derivations. These 3 derivations, d is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, b square minus u square is equal to 2as. All these problems or all these derivations, prepare yourself and write one time. Write one time, that is, and again every time more faster. Beginning only you can ask your classes. Any doubt is there, you can ask in the beginning only, no problem. I'll give you the chance. At present now nobody is having doubt. So we conclude our class. Take care of you, and NSR will continue now.
Hello children, good morning all of you. So in the previous class we discussed about life and the complexity of organisms. So in previous class we discussed about levels of organization of living organisms. So how living organisms are converted into adult, isn't it? See, here one picture I am representing here. See, after germination, it converts into a plant. Then it is organized into a tree. It is organized into a tree. So here the simple substances present in the plant, they are organized into a tree. They are organized into a tree, isn't it? So the conversion is nothing but, we already discussed that is nothing but organization. The conversion is nothing but organization, isn't it? So this organization is divided into some basic concepts. What are those basic concepts? Concepts which we are discussed already. First one, based on the levels, we discussed as chemical level of organization. That means every organism, every living organism starts with, they are composed with atoms. We already discussed that. They are composed with atoms. The starting part of the living organism is nothing but atom. So atoms are composed to form molecules. Molecules are composed to form organelles. Organelles are composed to form cell. So here the atom and the molecules are considered as chemical level of organization. In this chemical level of organization, we already discussed that atoms and molecules. Atoms and molecules. Atoms and molecules. The second one, second step, which we are discussed as cellular level. Cellular level. Second level of organization, that is about cellular level of organization. Cellular level of organization. Here we discussed about cell. Previously, in the first class, we discussed about cell. So, that is about cellular level of organization. And third one, tissue level of organization. Tissue level of organization. Third one is tissue level of organization, which gives the information about tissues. The cells are composed to form tissues, isn't it? And the fourth important level, that is organ level of organization. Organ level of organization. And the fifth important level, that is system or system levels of organization. System levels of organization. Next, sixth one, I am representing here, sixth one. After system level, next level of organization is organism. organismic level of organization. Organismic level of organization. Organismic level of organization. The group of systems are combined to form organism. That level is anotherly called as organismic level. Organismic level. This is called organismic level. And the group of organisms are combined to form seventh level, that is population. Population. Again, these populations are grouped into form different types of communities. Community. After this, communities are considered or grouped into one ecosystem. The ninth level, that is about ecosystem. Higher level of organization. Higher level of organization. Here, 1 to 6, what I gave, 1 to 6 levels. 1 to 6 levels. First one chemical level, second one cellular level, third one tissue level, fourth one organ level, fifth one system level, and sixth one organismic level, up to sixth one. This is called 1 to 6 organizations are called, the level of organizations are called lower level organization. Lower level of organization. Lower level of organization. Please note down, children. Lower level of organization. Okay, children. Here, look at here. 1 to 6. 1 to 6. They are called lower levels of organization. Lower levels of organization. And the remaining 7 to 9 after ecosystem, which we have to write biosphere, from 7th to up to 9th ecosystem, from 7th to, that means population, we need to write again, from 7th to 9th. These levels are considered as higher levels of organization. Higher level of organization. Please note down, children. 1 to 6 are called lower levels of organization. From 7 to 9 levels are called as higher levels of organization. Here it is a lower level of organization, 1 to 6, and 7 to 9 higher levels of organization. Higher levels of organization. In the last class, we discussed chemical level of organization, children. The last class we discussed about atoms and molecules, isn't it? The last class we discussed about atoms and molecules. Now, let us discuss cellular level of organization, that is about cell. Okay, children. So, levels of organization. So, I think you noted levels, lower level of organization and higher level of organizations. Now let us discuss about cellular level of organization. That means how organisms are converted into an organisms. So organisms and next level organisms are composed with the help of organs, tissues and cells. We already discussed that. And this is the level of organization. And these are the scientists who discovered cell. He is a scientist who discovered dead cells on the bark of the oak tree in 1665. And he is another scientist. In 1674, he observed living cells. So now we will discuss about after atoms, some of the atoms which we discussed here. Look at this chemical level of organization. We already discussed elements which are essential for maintaining life, or carbon to sodium. These are the some of the examples which are essential to maintain the life. These atoms, these smaller subunits are composed to form molecules. We already discussed about molecules also. What are the molecules which we are discussing, children? Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals, isn't it? So up to here we discussed it. Now cellular level of organization. Look at this slide, children. So cell which contains some basic cell organelles, isn't it, children? Basic cell organelles. So some basic cell organelles which are macromolecules. They are known as macromolecules. Macromolecules are cell organelles, a group of cell organelles present inside the cell. Present inside the cell. In the first class, we discussed about cell organelles. In that particular cell organelles, inside the cell, the main components like nucleus, cytoplasm, some of the organelles like endoplasmic reticulum we are discussed. So the endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, all these are called or considered as cell organelles. Okay, children. So inside the cell, these are the cell organelles which are coordinated with each other. So let us see once again. I'm drawing the cell structure on the board. So look at the cell structure once again. So what are the cell organelles which are present in the cell? So look at the board, children. Look at the board. Look at here. This is the structural and functional unit in all living organisms. In every living organisms, the next level of organization, the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of organisms. So, the several kinds of cells in our body, each cell has its own importance, isn't it? So, look at this. Inside the cell, which is having nucleus and the liquid portion, it is bounded with a membrane, and some of the cell organelles are attached to the nucleus, and outside the nucleus you can find some of the macromolecules inside the cell. All these particles are nothing but cell organelles. These cell organelles which are composed to form cell. These cell organelles are composed to form a cell, isn't it? So, next level of atom molecules, the next level of organization is cell organelles. Atoms are composed to form molecules. Molecules are composed to form cell organelles. So, cell organelles are composed to form a cell. So, cell which contains different sets of cell organelles which are coordinated each other. They can share their information and they are coordinated each other. The cell organelles inside the cell they coordinated each other. All the cell organelles are controlled by nucleus here. Nucleus, we already discussed, no? Nucleus is a control unit of entire cell which coordinate the cell organelles. So, this is the living substance. In every cell, nucleus is a control unit which coordinates the remaining cell organelles, isn't it? So, each cell contains specialized structures called organelles that perform specific functions. Like coordination, transportation, excretion. So these are the types of functions which are coordinated by the cells in the cellular organization. Is it okay, children? So it is about cell. Okay. So note down, children, cell is a basic structural and functional unit of an organism. There are several kinds of cells in our body and each has a different structures and each performs a different functions. Each cell contains a specialized structure called organelles that perform a specific function. So let us discuss. The cells are grouped into form. A tissue. Let us see next level. Surya. What is your doubt, Nana?
Please tell about lower level, sir.
Okay, I will explain again. Lower level of organization. Okay, Nana.
Sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next, Geetesh.
Sir,
What is your doubt, Nana? Geetesh.
sir,
Yes, tell me.
cellular level, tell sir once. Sir.
Okay, Nana. Cellular level, I will explain again. Varshit.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Nana.
As- Sir, what is the difference between lower level and higher level, sir?
I will explain. Look at the board, Nana.
Yes, sir.
I will explain.
Thank you,
for all.
sir.
Okay.
Thank
okay.
you, sir.
Okay. And Anand Murali. Please ask your doubt, Nana. Anand Murali.
Why only up to 6 organisms are called lower levels, sir?
Okay, I will explain. Okay, I think same note for all. Look at the board once. Look at the board, children. Lower level of organization and higher level of organization. So there is a main note for all. Look at this picture again. First one, we discussed about non-living matters, that is atoms, molecules. These two are non-living substrates or substances, non-living things. These non-living things which are helpful for the living things, isn't it? Living matter. So these two are composed to form a cell. Next level, that is about cell level. So up to organism, that means cells are grouped into form tissues, that is third level. Organized level, this is not the full organism, no. So organized level, this is the third step. Again, the tissues are combined to form organs. These are also not the full form of the organism. The organs are composed to form organ systems. Organ systems here, isn't it? Organ systems. Again, these organ systems are composed to form one individual organism. One individual organism. One individual organism. One individual organism, this particular organism, which is made by this level to this level, from cell level to organ system level, the entire steps are composed to form one individual organism. One individual organism. So it tells us about only a single individual, single organism. In multicellular organisms, especially in multicellular organisms, this level of organization carried out in the living organization, isn't it? So the level of organization which tells us about one individual. So that is the reason why it is called as lower level of organization. It tells us about only one living thing, one living organism. Okay, children. So it is called lower level of organization. Lower level of organization. Why? Because it tells us about only a single individual. Single individual. Whereas after organisms, these organisms are composed to form population. That is higher level. Many individuals, more than two, or many organisms are composed to form population. That populations are combined to form communities, different types of communities, and that communities are lived in an ecosystem. That group of ecosystems are called biosphere, isn't it? So this is lower level of organization, tells us about only individual organism. Whereas next level, that means organisms are grouped into populations. Then populations are grouped into form community, and the communities are
combined form ecosystem or ecosystems. It tells us about many organisms, group of organisms. In the lower level of organization, it deals with only a single individual. This type of organization is called lower level of organization, whereas organism to ecosystem, the level is nothing but higher level of organization, because it tells us about communities or ecosystem more than different organisms, and it tells us about diversity in the biosphere. The higher level of organization tells us about diversity. Okay, children, which explains about diversity. Is it okay, children? Now let us observe the screen. Yes, Surya. Surya. Surya.
Sir,
Yes. Tell me.
nothing, sir. Nothing, sir.
You are raised your hand, Nana.
My
Okay.
doubt is clear now, sir.
Okay. Okay, Nana. Okay, all of you look at the screen. Here, the tissue level of organization. Up to now, we discussed about cellular level or cell level organization. Isn't it? Now, let us discuss about tissue level of organization. What is meant by tissue? Tissue, a group of similar cells. We already discussed, group of cells are combined to form tissues. That means all the cells are similar, isn't it? A group of similar cells that usually arise from the common ancestor or common parent cell and works together to perform a particular function. The four basic types of tissues in the body are, generally animal bodies are composed of four important tissues. Four important tissues. They are epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue. So tissue level of organization, it is a level in which different cells are joined together to form structure called a tissue, isn't it? So here what I gave, epithelial, muscle tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue are the examples of tissues in animals, which are discussed in the next class. But let us see a little about these type of tissues. Okay, children? First one, epithelial tissue. Generally, epithelial tissue. Epi means outer. Thelial means tissue or a layer. So epi means outer, thelial means layer. So these particular tissues, especially in animals, epithelial tissues are present in the outer surface of the organs. Outer surfaces of the organs. So every organ, the outer surface, which is bounded with epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue. And the next one, muscles. Our full body is composed of different types of muscles. With the help of muscles only, we can move with the help of contraction and relaxation of muscles, we are holding something, isn't it? So muscles are composed of different types of tissues. Besides, some pictures are there, no? So first picture, it is about epithelial tissue. Second picture, it is about muscle tissue. And third picture, this is connective tissue. For the last picture, it is about nervous tissue. So connective tissue which connects the different organs. Here the name connective tissue which connects the different organs and coordinate the different organs. The same way, nervous tissue. Look at here, this picture. In this nervous tissue, brain coordinates the remaining organs with the help of nerves. With the help of nerves, that is nothing but some of the tissues which are present here, those are called nervous tissues. Nervous tissues. Okay, children, we will discuss these epithelial, muscle, and connective nervous tissues in the latter classes. So, this is about a tissue level of organization. We discussed 4 examples here, tissues. And after tissues, what is the next level of organization, children? Organ level. Tissues are grouped into form organs of the living organism. Let us see next level of organization. Organ level. Animal body or human body is composed of different types of organs, isn't it? What are the organs? Organs are structures that are composed of 2 or more different tissues, have a specific function, and usually have reorganizable shapes. Some of the examples of organs are, look at here, heart, and this is the liver, lungs, brain, and stomach. These are the different organs which we are observing now. So it is where different kinds of tissues are joined together and form a structure of the body called organ. So these are the different organs present in the organism. So heart is a pumping unit, liver which is helpful for the digestion process, and the lungs which are responsible for the respiration process, and the brain is a coordinating unit of the living organisms, and the stomach, it is also one of the digestion. The digestion of process will take place inside the stomach. So these are the different types of organs present in the living organism. So a single organ cannot perform all the functions in the multicellular organism, isn't it? So a single organ cannot compose a full body, isn't it? So organs are grouped into form a individual organism. So all these are the organs which are present in the organism. Let us see next level of organization. Is it completed, children? Are you writing? So note on the examples of also examples of organs are the heart, liver, lungs, brain, and stomach. After organ level, let us see systems. What are the systems which are present in the living organisms, especially in human beings? System level. System level. The level where different organs are joined together to form a body system. To form a body system, it consisting of several related organs that have a common function. That is a coordination. Please note down system level of organization, the level where different organs are joined together to form a body system, which consisting of several related organs that have a common function. Yes, Shushant. Shushant. Shushant.
About system level, sir.
Nana?
Sir,
Yes. Tell me.
sir,
Yes, Shushant, tell me. What is the doubt, Nana?
tell them system level, sir.
Okay, Nana. So, system level of organization. We move on to see the next point about system level of organization. Look at the slide, children. We have 11 systems in the human body. System level of organization is grouped into 11 different types of systems. Look at here, level systems in the human body. What are those level systems? First one, integumentary system, skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system, endocrine system, circulatory system, lymphatic system or immune system, respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, and the last one, reproductive system. Please make a note, children. Systems of the human body. Total we have 11 systems. Integumentary system 2 up to reproductive system we have total 11 systems. 11 systems of the human body. Please note down. Yes, Geetesh. Geetesh. Tell me,
Sir.
what is your doubt? Geetesh. So these are the level systems and the level of organization, children. So let us discuss these systems in detail in the next coming class. So please note down these systems. We will discuss these systems in the next coming class. Please note down, children. Okay, we will meet in the next class. Thank you.